Hi, and welcome to this video. Today we're going to start looking at percentages. Percentages comes in two parts. This is clearly the first one. So what are percentages? Which is also written as the sign with the 0/0. Like ratios and fractions and decimals, percentages are a way to show parts of something. Why have so many different ways? They're all a little bit different, and some are better for showing some things than others. It's all about finding the easiest way to communicate something to a listener or a reader. Firstly, percentages and decimals are very similar. 0.34, a decimal, equals 34%. 0.26, a decimal, equals 26%. 1.25, a decimal, equals 125%. The main idea about percentages is that 100% equals 1. If I eat 100% of the pizza, that means I ate all the pizza. This idea is so widely used that we use it even about things that can't be measured. So, for example, we might tell our teacher, I understand that 100%, to mean I understand it all. Decimals and percentages are used by people more often than fractions, like 1/2. Fractions can be slow and tricky if you want to compare things. Let's say your class has 25 students and 5 of them are absent. That means 5 by 25 are absent. The other class in your grade has 30 students and 7 of them are absent, or 7 by 30 are absent. So which class is worse for absences? We don't need to calculate the answer, but I just want you to notice that it's not easy to compare 5 by 25 with 7 by 30. You have to take extra steps before you can compare them. If we use percentages, it would say in your class 20% of the students are absent, and in the other class 23.33 of the students are absent. So the other class is worse. It's so much easier to compare with percentages. How does the idea of percentages work? The thing that makes it easier to compare percentages is that they all answer the same question. How many out of 100 is that? So your class had 5 absences out of 25 students. So how many out of 100 is that? In other words, if your class had 100 students, how many would be absent? We'll look at how to calculate percentages in a minute. But for now, we can say 20%, or that's 20 out of 100. The other class is 23.33%, or that's 23.33 out of 100. 23.33 is higher, so we can say the other class has more absences than yours. Okay, let's look at how to calculate a percent. So here's an example. So Tutu had 60 candies. He gave 30 of them to his children. What percentage did he give them? So to make a percentage, the first step, make the fraction. And you put the part on the top and you put the whole on the bottom. So he had 60 candies, that's the whole, so that goes on the bottom. He gave 30 of them to his children, so that's the part, and that goes on the top. So our fraction is 30 over 60. Okay, step 2. We multiply that fraction by 100. So we get 30 times 100 on the top and 60 on the bottom. Now we can divide the top and the bottom by 30. So on the top, 30 divided by 30 is 1. On the bottom, 60 divided by 30 is 2. Now we can divide the top and the bottom by 2. So 2 on the bottom divided by 2 is 1. 100 on the top divided by 2 is 50. So we have 50 times 1 on the top equals 50%. And that's the answer. So what do we use percentages for? Percentages are used everywhere, and you will need them if you continue your studies. Subjects like education and economics and social sciences are full of them. For example, 26.37% of the population of Myanmar is under 14 years of age. For Thailand, this is 17.09%. It's very easy to compare like this. Imagine that we used fractions. In Thailand, the population under 14 is 11.58 million. The total population is 67.79 million. So that would be our fraction, 11.58 over 67.79. In Myanmar, the population under 14 years old is 13.21 million, and the total population is 51.85 million. Very, very hard to compare the two. You have to do a lot of work before you can compare. Okay, there are two main kinds of simple problems, which are called type 1 and type 2. So type 1 is what percentage of 50 is 20? Or what is 20 as a percentage of 50? And the answer will be a percentage. That's how you know it's type 1. The answer will be a percentage. Type 2, what is 40% of 200? The answer is going to be a number. And that's how you know it's type 2, because the answer is a number. Let's practice telling the difference. You have to mark which ones are type 1 and which ones are type 2. You don't need to calculate the answer. Just tell me which ones are type 1, which ones are type 2. So first question, what is 60% of 20? Type 1 or type 2? Second question, what percent is 3 of 12? Third question, what is 75% of 1,000? Fourth question, how many percent of 40 is 10? Fifth question, what percentage is 3 of 15? And the last question, what is 90% of 10? So you might want to pause the video here. I'm going to go ahead and give you the answers. So the first one, what is 60% of 20? That was a type 2. So the answer will be a number. Second one, what percent is 3 of 12? So that's the type 1. The answer is going to be a percent. What is 75% of 1,000? That is type 2. The answer is going to be a number. What percent of 40 is 10? That's a type 1. The answer is going to be a percentage. What percent is 3 of 15? That's also a type 1, and that's also going to be a percentage. And what is 90% of 10? That is a type 2, because the answer will be a number. And this is the end, my friend. See you again next time.